Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi has met with his visiting Russian counterpart in China's Anhui province. The two will next attend the ministerial meeting on Afghanistan. Delegations from Iran, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan will be there, along with an invited U.S. representative. Economic reconstruction is one of the key issues. In a statement, China's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin said dialogue is expected to promote building an open and inclusive Afghan political structure, pursue a moderate and stable domestic and foreign policy, and effectively fight terrorism. A meeting of the China-US-Russia Plus consultation mechanism on the Afghan issue will also be held. This will be the two ministers' first face-to-face meeting since the Russia-Ukraine conflict began, and that is also expected to be high on their agenda. For more, let's go live to Jianhua in Moscow. Jianhua, so tell us about this meeting.
Yes, Jianhua, you're right. This has been the first face-to-face meeting between the two foreign ministers ever since the conflict started. Last time when Lavrov was in China was in February, before the opening of Beijing Winter Olympic Games. Of course, we have looked at the meeting. It is supposed to be on Afghanistan. The aim is the coordination efforts in the region to provide humanitarian and socio-economic support for Afghanistan. It is still not clear that whether the two foreign ministers will meet at the sidelines of the meeting. But of course, given the background of the conflict right now, it is a raft of Western sanctions and also Russia's tit-for-tat measures that is likely to threaten the world's economy, energy security and food security. Of course, China's stance on the Ukraine crisis has been consistent. We know that, for one thing, that China would like to call for on the international community to resort to diplomatic solutions to the crisis so far. And of course, China has been abstained from a slew of UN votings against Russia. In the meantime, the country has been providing humanitarian support for Ukraine. And of course, this also came after the face-to-face meeting between the delegations and the representatives from Russia and Ukraine in Turkey. And of course, we have learned that from the Russia side, it will drastically reduce its military operation in Kiev and Chernihiv. Instead, it will focus on the Donbas region in eastern Ukraine. And of course, Putin, if you look at Putin's objective, that is the demilitarization and denazification in Ukraine, the imposition of neutral status, the recognition of the Donbas region, and also the recognition of Crimea as no longer being part of Ukraine. And we have also learned something new yesterday, that the officials from Donetsk is planning to join Russia. If we look at Ukraine, from the Ukrainian side, Zelensky said that he was open to compromise over the Donbas region. And what is positive about the meeting from yesterday, that is the possible meeting, face-to-face meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky. That is positive, but given that the sanctions from the West on Russia, there are still more of the sanctions now. So the situation is not really good in Russia at this point. And one thing is that Joe Biden suggested that Russia should be kicked out of G20, and Russia was kicked out of the G8 in 2014. So there will be more. Of course, and Russia is taking some tit-for-tat measures, that Russia is asking some Western and friendly Western countries to pay for its natural gas in Russian rubles. So the tensions here are still very high. Back to Jiaoyang.
Thank you so much, Li Jianhua, following developments for us from Moscow.